I still didn't want to go, but I trusted them because I loved them. I said, okay, I'll go to West Point. It was the best decision I never made. My 4 years at West Point became the foundation of everything I am right now. It was exciting to be on a great team with talented players, coached by Bob Knight, who was at the beginning of a legendary coaching career. We always had a winning record, and we went to the NIT, which in those days was as big as the NCAA. I became captain of the basketball team, which was a great leadership training experience. My two key mentors at West Point were Coach Knight and Colonel Tom Rogers, my officer representative and counselor at the academy. In 1969, during my senior year, my father died suddenly of a cerebral hemorrhage. He had always been my most important guide and role model. How would I make decisions about my life and career without my father to talk to? Yet Coach Knight and Colonel Rogers were there to listen, counsel, and provide the wisdom that my father could no longer give. Both men remained close to me, not only during my time of loss, but over the years that followed. After graduation, I served in the U.S. Army from 1969 to 1974. I spent time in South Korea, stationed a few miles from the demilitarized zone. I also coached service teams and spent 2 years coaching at the U.S. Military Academy Prep School at Belvoir, Virginia. After my discharge from the Army, I worked for 1 year as a graduate assistant to Coach Knight at Indiana University. I returned to West Point as head coach, serving from 1975 to 1980. It was largely at Colonel Rogers' urging that I pursued the head coaching position I now hold at Duke. So I can truly say that West Point has shaped the course of my life. I wouldn't be where I am today if not for the Academy. In this book, Pat Williams tells story after story of men and women who have upheld the highest traditions of the Academy. Through these stories, he shows us the values of the United States Military Academy in action. In these pages, he takes us on a tour of the history of the long gray line, that vast core of generations of West Point graduates from the time the Academy was founded to the present day. This book is organized around the 12 core virtues of West Point, which have been carved into 12 granite benches near the Battle Memorial at Trophy Point above the Hudson River. Those benches weren't there when I was at West Point. They were placed there in 1984. But I know they offer a great place for a cadet to think, reflect, and pray while looking out over the river. Those benches would be a fine place to ponder an important decision, reflect on a troubling dilemma, or quietly thank God for good news from home. The virtues carved into those benches are a constant reminder of the qualities we need to live courageously and effectively in all circumstances. The 12 West Point virtues that were carved into those granite benches have also been carved into the souls of the cadets of the Academy. Any man or woman who builds a life on the foundation of those 12 virtues will become, by definition, an ethical and effective leader, whether in the military or in civilian life. These virtues will produce victory on the battlefield and in every other field of endeavor. I've known Pat Williams for many years, and I can tell you he embodies these 12 virtues in his own life. He has written one of those rare books that manages to entertain even as it motivates and inspires. It was a joy to read it, and it's a privilege to give it my hearty commendation. Mike Krzyzewski, head men's basketball coach at Duke University, West Point, class of 1969, January 10th, 2019.